In Revenge of the Sith, we all remember the infamous scene where Obi-Wan takes the high ground and cuts his former apprentice in half, leaving him to smolder on the lava river bank. But what if events went differently? What if, instead of losing to his old master, Anakin harnessed all of his dark side powers and effectively landed behind Kenobi, piercing his lightsaber through Obi-Wan's heart? The outcome of this would lead us into today's story, changing the entire galaxy as we know it. Okay, let's begin.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
You underestimate my power!
Don't try it!
With Kenobi now dead, Anakin's ego was filled to the brim. The hate swelled in him now, his anger feeding the rage that grew his powers with each second that passed. Looking up, he would see Palpatine's shuttle approaching as it landed on a platform not far from him. Taking one final look at his former master, he would grab Kenobi's lightsaber and throw it into the lava, then making his way back to Padme.
Excellent work, Lord Vader. There are none left to oppose us. You have done well. Your new weapon, my apprentice.
No, the galaxy belongs to me now. With Palpatine now dead, Anakin would rush Padme to a medical center on Coruscant as she was beginning to go into labor. Due to the stress Anakin had caused and the trauma she had received on Mustafar, the Skywalker children would die in Padme's stomach. Upon hearing this, Anakin would crush every single droid in the room, obliterating almost the entire facility in a fit of desperate rage. Heartbroken and saddened, Anakin would tell Padme that it was the Jedi who did this, and that they would pay for what they had done to their lives. They denied him knowledge, they denied him the rank of master, which would have allowed him to enter the restricted section of the Jedi Temple and learn the powers of immortality, to save the ones he loves, but they did not respect him. They did not respect his talents, and they did not believe he was the chosen one. He would vow to Padme that he would search the galaxy for all remaining Jedi that slipped through Order 66. He would travel the galaxy far and wide to learn the ways of the Force, as far as into the unknown regions and whatever lies within. He would stand from the ground, the red and yellow in his eyes burning hotter than the flames of Mustafar. Nothing would stop him now, for he was the most powerful Sith in the galaxy. Padme knew this. He knew this, and in time, the galaxy would know the destiny of Anakin and Padme Skywalker, unfolding in the sands of time. He rose to meet Padme's face, towering over his wife. He spoke.
Where shall we start?
Over the next few months, Anakin turned the Republic into his own empire. He would keep the cloning facilities on Kamino running, churning out more clones for his personal army. Padme would be his voice in the Senate, preaching that it was the Jedi who took their children from them, and that Anakin was here to save the galaxy from their tyranny. Construction on the Death Star would never begin, as Anakin believed that they didn't need a super weapon to spread fear, that he was far too powerful for such drastic measures. He would become the most ruthless force in the galaxy. The name of Anakin Skywalker would spread utter obedience into those who dare stand against him. Anakin would make Mustafar the base of his operations, as it would be the site of his full turn to the dark side, reminding him of his slaughtering of the Separatists and the end of Obi-Wan. One day, Anakin would be meditating in his chambers as Clone Commander Appo would walk in, informing him of something extremely important.
Sir, Our spies have located a Jedi. He has been hiding out on Kashyyyk. Unfortunately, the unit we sent in to capture him has yet to return.
Anakin didn't need any more information. He was leaving at once. Finally, a new Jedi would taste the fury of his crimson blade. Anakin's ship would land on the forest planet. As he got out, being forced to fight through waves of Wookiees to get to his prey, it did not matter. The dark side gave him all that he needed. After fighting for what seemed like half an hour, he approached a small hut as a cloaked figure walked out.
Dark Lord, turn back. Whatever you want, you won't find it here.
The fire in Anakin's eyes was beginning to swell.
I know who you are, Skywalker. You're nothing but a traitor. Master Windu was right about you after all.
Before the Jedi had any time to even react, he was launched into the tree behind him. Getting back up, he would ignite his saber as Vader had already unleashed his Form 5 blade work onto him. Their duel would be short. Anakin's power was unrivaled, unmatched.
The dark side will never win. The Jedi will come back. The light side will prevail.
Let's see you come back from that. I sense someone far more powerful nearby. Where is your master?
Foolish boy, you killed my master months ago in the temple.
Anakin would become enraged, and just as he was about to strike the Jedi down, his lightsaber was forced out of his hand. Turning around, he would see a small child holding his crimson blade. Intrigued, he would focus his gaze to the boy and simply crush the former master's head with the Force, ending his life within the fraction of a second. As the body dropped to the floor, the child would have a look of horror on his face.
Lord Vader.
Sir, we secured the perimeter. Do you want us to open fire on the remaining life form?
No, stand down. Although Anakin was well accustomed to killing children, he sensed the pure, raw power in the boy. He couldn't bring himself to do it. It would be such a waste of potential. Still looking down at the boy, he made his decision. He knew that he couldn't run the Empire himself forever, and it would be nice to have someone attending to the more boring matters. He was a master without an apprentice, and so he vowed to train this boy and turn him into a ruthless Sith Lord. Come with me. I will give you a new life. This boy was Galen Marek, otherwise known as Starkiller, Darth Vader's right-hand enforcer. Anakin took Starkiller to Mustafar, where he would train him in everything from lightsaber combat to owning his own abilities with the Force. Marek would learn the fifth form of lightsaber combat just as Anakin had, but instead he would adopt his own unique style based off the principles of the Xi'an variant compared to Anakin's Gem So. Starkiller would be given a training droid built by Anakin named Proxy, who could simulate any Jedi's combative prowess. He would truly become a ruthless killing machine, being able to perform feats that rivaled even the greatest of Force users. Anakin would send Marek on small missions that he felt weren't worth his time, having his apprentice perform an assassination here or a quick reconnaissance there. Anakin could tell Starkiller was becoming ready. And so, after training heavily one last time across the lava plains, Anakin against Starkiller, their lightsabers clashing against one another with unparalleled speed. Use your hatred. The Jedi will take everything from you as they did me. The very things you care about will die at their hands, and it will be all your doing. Do not fail as I failed them. Starkiller stops. Them? Anakin takes a deep breath, realizing what he had just said. He had just spoken of he and Padme's children to Galen for the first time. Never before had he spoken about anything personal. Day in and day out, he would train Starkiller in order to destroy all remaining Jedi, just as he wished he could do ever since Luke and Leia died. He had let it slip. Anakin regained his composure and swung at Starkiller with fear and anger of revealing everything he had sworn to lock away. Galen would almost be completely decapitated when he would in a quick motion dodge Anakin's blade and begin to fight back. Using the darkness within him, Galen would catch Anakin off guard with a quick Form 3 block and parry. He cut Anakin's robotic arm clean off. Anakin would push Starkiller back with the Force and unleash a new one-handed assault of his own, showing no mercy, letting the Force guide his onslaught, fueling his rage and his power. He would begin to hurl lava at Galen, who would use a shield to protect himself, hurling it back at Anakin, causing Skywalker to stop his assault and use a shield of his own to avoid getting burned. Getting back up to his feet, Anakin looks at Galen, still poised and ready. You have done well. You are ready. Anakin's final trial for Starkiller was to have his apprentice bring him the head of a Jedi Master, someone extremely powerful in the Force, someone who's been evading the Empire for years now, someone Anakin was very familiar with. Anakin had grown so powerful in the Force that he was able to sense the faint presence of the almost 900-year-old Grand Jedi Master, who went into exile after failing to kill Palpatine. Before Anakin and Galen would leave for the Dagobah system, Skywalker would tell his apprentice to meditate before the big fight, to calm his mind and let the dark side flow through him. While Galen did this, Anakin would enter his base and contact his wife. Padme would appear in front of him. Anakin would tell his wife that he has finally found Master Yoda, telling her that they would finally destroy the rest of the Jedi. Padme would look down. She didn't know how to feel. She could see in Anakin's eyes the power-hungry monster that he had become. She was disgusted with herself. She contributed to this. She saw behind Anakin's shoulders all the lightsabers on display, his trophies. Those lightsabers were built by Jedi who fought against Anakin until their last breath. All those years of training, all those momentary moments spent in the Jedi Temple, thinking that they were safe. Every choice all those Jedi made throughout their lives surmounted to this. Their destiny reduced to having their weapons being put on display as trophies for one man to look upon with pride, thinking about the glory of when he finally took their lives. This was the moment Padme changed. She couldn't let her husband continue his never-ending hunt for Jedi blood. He had become a ravenous dog. He was responsible for what happened to their children. The Jedi were nothing more than scapegoats to hide the real truth. She would look at Anakin, telling him that she loved him as she ended their transmission, devising a plan of her own. She had to stop her husband and put an end to all of this.
What is thy bidding, my master?
It's time.
side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.